Is Black History Month important? Why or why not?
I say Black History Month is important because it is a part of American history, but we shouldn't just focus on just that one aspect of our culture, just saying that we need to have Black History Month, because really we need to have, if we need just to have Black History Month, we need to have a month for every other race out there that's in America. But it is important right now because even if you go to some elementary schools and you're like, who's Martin Luther King? Kids will look at you like, that's the guy where we get the day off for. That's all they can say.
True.
And it's like, you look at them, it's like, can you tell me anything else? Like, and they say no. When growing up, Black History Month, we actually had to pick a person and learn something about them. That was us then. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, you know, you actually have to learn what they did.
I love, you know, okay, Black people are sweet.
That's right.
But I feel like, all right, Black History Month is awesome. Go Black History Month. But I feel like we just have it for people like Ezra. Now be cool, be cool. All right. No. Yeah, I did. But okay, you gotta follow me here. Maybe we should have like a fight racism month. They might be the same, but they're kind of not. Because look, okay, all right. So black people, or you know anybody. Okay, Ezra, are you doing? Okay, you came in last weekend to the meeting, and you were all pissed off and mad and throwing a fit, and it was cool. I was with you, but I feel like when I was watching you up here, you know, maybe a couple minutes ago, when she was telling the story about the white kid being the only guy at the school, you were just shaking your head. But when she started talking about her in Walmart, you were like, yeah, you got into that. Are you just mad at the world for because you're black? Or are you mad because you should be mad for all races getting treated like crap? But I feel like you're just angry at everybody for what? Because you're black? It's cool. I think it's cool. I would, you know,
How many white people?
We got Dr. Phil in the building.
Okay. Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason I was shaking my head, yeah, because I've seen that situation before, and I was like, yeah, that's terrible. Then I should get more so when it happened to her in Walmart because I've experienced it personally. When you see something happen to someone that happened to you, aren't you like, oh my gosh, yeah, that happened to me too? Compared to when I tell you a story of oh, hey, I was skateboarding and then I fell down and scraped my knee and people laughed at me. You're like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Instead of if you were a skateboarder and you fell down and hit your knee and everybody's laughing, it's like, oh, dude, yeah, that happened to me too. When you personally identify with things, you feel more for that person. I personally identify because when I walk into Walmart, people do stare at me, and I stare back. Hello. Okay. I'm sorry. But, you know, am I mad at the whole world? I mean, honestly, probably, yeah. I'm not even going to lie. You know, I'd be a liar if, because what it has done to me, honestly, I'll say is the world has made me, not appreciate, the blessing that I've been giving, being a minority, or being a minority in America, because it's made me, because number one, I've been one who has been accepted by my culture because of the fact that, when I was at school, people were like, Ezra, you don't talk the way we do. you don't dress the way we do. Number one, I don't dress the way you do because I don't have $90 to spend on jeans like some of them did, or to spend on J's. I don't talk the way you do because my parents were like, although we didn't have a lot of money, they're like, you're going to go to school, so you better talk right, you know. So honestly, I probably am out of the world, you know, and something I probably need to fix that I'm working on, you know. And I'm not going to lie, I have some identity issues, but I mean, honestly, if the world wasn't the way it was, and, you know, if we didn't have the stereotypes forced on us, or stereotypes weren't forced on people in general, then people wouldn't have identity crisis in the first place, honestly.
And how is that, like, how much of it is your responsibility to how you react as opposed to what other people are doing?
It's very much my responsibility, which is why I said those are things that I have to work on. And then I know overall that, as my friends were telling me that day, Ezra, God is in control, you don't need to let it control your life. And I was like, you're right. So I'm passionate about these issues because I don't want other, you know, young people who are grown up in the same situations to feel the way that I do, because it doesn't feel good, honestly. And some of you may not be able to identify with it. You may laugh at it. You may laugh at me because Ezra, you're so angry. But if you've seen what I've seen or felt what I felt, then maybe you know. But you probably don't. So,
I don't believe we should have Black History Month, because I feel as though, and somebody might get hyped off of this, but I don't care. They can try me if they want to. Anybody could have did what Martin Luther King did. A white guy could have did it. A black guy could have did it. A Hispanic guy could have did it. Martin Luther King was just the only one that made the choice to do it. But anybody could have did it. There was many, many people who did things in their small communities. Like, yes. What? Would I do it for our generation? We're not in the situation that Martin Luther King did, but if I would speak out, yes, because I'm going to be a journalist. So, okay, so you're asking me what I do what Martin Luther King did? No, because that's my choice, and I decided not to. Because I don't want to, you know, people, like I said, anybody could have did it, they just didn't do it. And here's a prime example. I could easily do what Martin Luther King did, but I just won't, because it's partly fear of, you know, subjecting myself to being harmed after speaking out. I mean, Martin Luther King had a high level of confidence and faith in God to where he spoke out and he just didn't fear death at that moment. You know, whatever consequences came. And he made that choice. But the fact is, anybody can do anything, they just have the choice to. Martin Luther King at that time actually wasn't the only one to make that choice. Malcolm X spoke out. JFK supported Martin Luther King, and he was a white president. So there's a lot of people, and the fact that I think Black History Month was a way to shut black people up from complaining that we don't get enough compensation from being slaves. That's what I think it was. Because black people were just complaining too much about, well, we don't have this and we don't have that. It's because you continue to do the same things even though you were given freedom. I mean, it just nothing, Black History Month has no substance now. It doesn't mean anything now. When it first happened, it was great. But now it's just, it's nothing, because we've moved so far past racism now. It's more of a discrimination thing now. Because racism isn't the problem now, it's discrimination. It's a huge difference. Black people, like I just said, black people talk about black people. It doesn't matter now. It's not racism, it's the way you act. When people say you act like a white boy, I really think they mean you're acting like a preppy person. Like, when you think of a white boy, you know, they're mostly, you know, they act preppy and they're like, oh, hi, how are you doing? You know, like that type of stuff. So I'm just saying, it's characteristics now. We're discriminating against characters. It has nothing to do with color now. There are still people from that time there's still racism because there's still people from that time, but by the time those people have died off, it's not going to be racism anymore, really. It's just going to be discrimination against people's characteristics and life choices.